Yes, I am wearing gym gear again. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hello, say hello. Today we're going to film Finn's 5-month update. He is 5 months on Friday. Yeah, so the main thing about 5-month update is that you definitely stop being able to know how many weeks your baby's is. I stopped at about 12 weeks, I think. I have no idea how many weeks he is. I don't know if you're supposed to know. If you are, I'm a terrible mother, and I'm sorry. I also don't know how much he weighs because I haven't had him weighed since about a good 6 weeks now. He was just under 14 pounds at that point. So I'm presuming that he's put a fair amount of chunk on. Yeah, he is a proper little person now, which is really nice. He's got a real personality in the last couple of weeks, and he knows the difference between me and Paul and other people, and he knows the difference between my mum and Paul's mum, and he is very charming and smiley. He really likes men, especially in shopping centres. And I don't know if you've noticed this, because men don't pay any attention to babies. So what will happen is Finn tries to be all cute and like will coo and sort of like go which is his favourite thing to do. Yes, you do that. And the men will just ignore him because men don't pay any attention to kids. And then he will just do it louder and louder and louder until I eventually have to say to them, can you just pay my baby some attention, please? Because he's not going to stop until you do, which men find really weird. Yeah, likes men. Likes women as well. Cashiers at the tills. Quite charming, smiley. Can be quite endearing, except for one small meltdown in Boots we had where a lady was desperately trying to sign me up to the parenting club and he was screaming bloody murder and there was a queue of 15 people behind me and I was like, look love, I'm gonna go because I can't chat to you right now when my baby's screaming and there's 15 people glaring at me behind me. First things first, sleep. So that is the most important thing. You will notice me reach to the right hand side. That's because I have a list. That's because I haven't had much sleep. Because I made the stupid decision to make a video called How We Got Our Newborn to Sleep Through the Night. And then he stopped sleeping through the night. Yes, you did. So it's my own fault. I shouldn't have made that video. It was like tempting fate. Sleep is probably the worst that it's ever been. And it's not terrible, to be honest. I can't really moan. But it's not great. It's just, he will go to sleep at about 7 o'clock, 7:30. He gets really naturally tired around that time. We take him up to bed awake and we put him into bed awake. I just give him a muzzy and he sort of like snuggles the muzzy for a little bit. And then he will go to sleep. So that is spot on. And he will sleep solidly until between 4 and 5:30, and then he'll wake up for a feed. The only problem is at that point it's sort of touch and go whether he wants to go back to sleep or not, and that's quite an early morning. So if it's 4, he will usually go back to sleep until about 5:30, 6 in the morning. But it's after that he won't go back to sleep. So we used to get until at least 7:30 he'd go back to sleep. That doesn't happen anymore. Between 5:30 and 6:30 is probably when he wakes up for the day. Then ironically about 7:30 he'll have a little nap, or between 7:30 and 9:30 he'll have like a good hour nap. Which kind of makes you think, why couldn't you just tap that on to the sleep in the first place? Because you can't be that awake if you need a nap 2 hours later. But yeah. Can't really complain because we do get solid sleep, but obviously as an adult you don't really want to go to bed at 7:30 to get the good 12 hours sleep that you require after chasing a newborn around all day. So he's not a newborn anymore, he's just a baby. I have to keep reminding myself of that. He will wake up between 5:30 and 6:30 and then he's pretty much up for the day, which is fine, and I can't really complain because some babies are still waking up. Sleep-wise, he's still in our room, and I know that the safe sleep guidelines that I keep banging on about do say until 6 months. I know very few people do that. Every one of my friends has said to me, put him in his own room, you'll get so much better sleep. I don't really know what's stopping me. It's just every night I seem to make an excuse. So I'll be like, oh, it's too hot tonight. I need to check him through the night and make sure that his temperature's all right. Or, oh, he's been a bit off colour today, so I don't want to do it today. I just don't want anything to happen to him. He's quite precious to me. And I like the fact that I can touch him in the night and make sure he's breathing. That's a bit weird, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to do it, I think. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to put him in his own room. which means that I need to finish the nursery because it's a bit boring, bland and pale at the moment. He's still in the sleepy head, although when I say still in, I mean like just about, and only about 90% of his body is still in the sleepy head, because his feet now come out the sides and I've had to open it up. And I'm really in two minds about whether to buy the next size up sleepy head. I went to John Lewis the other day to look at it, and it looks like a boat, like it's huge. I'm not really sure how you transfer it, and the main reason we use the sleepy head is so that he doesn't know the difference between sleeping in his bed at home and sleeping in his bed at mum's and sleeping in his bed on holiday. But I think the sleepy head deluxe is so big. No, it's the sleepy head grand. Anyway, the bigger one is so big that you wouldn't take it because it's just huge, and I'm not really sure how you get it in your car. So what I might do is transfer him into his cot using the sleepy head as a nice transfer device, and then see if I can take the sleepy head away. So yeah, sleep has been better. In the day, he'll sleep, like I said, for an hour in the morning, and then he'll have maybe 45 minutes at lunchtime, and then maybe another half an hour later on in the afternoon. Eating wise, we haven't weaned yet. We did give him some mango, and we've given him some strawberry just to have a little suck on. He didn't seem that bothered, and also I want to do baby-led weaning, and the research that I've done on baby-led is that you should wait until their digestive system has sort of matured till about 6 months, and they are able to sit up or have better head control and more competently sort of independently raise things to the mouth and stuff like that. So I'm going to wait a little bit. I did buy baby porridge, and we tried that with him once, but again, he wasn't really that bothered, and I know a lot of it is about them just exploring the textures of the food to start off with, and they don't really get nutrition from it, but I just want it to be safe rather than sorry. I know that if you wean early, sometimes it can be said to trigger allergies and stuff like that, so I'd rather not do that and just wait a little bit longer. So at the moment, he's having between 5 and 6 bottles a day, between 6 and 7 ounces at a time. Yeah. Vom-wise, we're at a real low point. So he seems to be sick now more than he ever has been sick, and it smells like really like sour milky, which it never used to. I don't know if it's because he's teething. He's really slathery, like loads of saliva, like constantly drenched, which you might be able to see on the top of his onesie. I am just changing bibs all the time, and he got a little fungal infection underneath his neck, which I had to go for cream for to the doctors because he was so slathery despite my best efforts of trying to keep him dry constantly. He also got a little bit of cradle cap back. I've found a really effective method of getting rid of cradle cap, which is just to put coconut oil on it, leave it overnight, and then get a comb and like quite tease it out, sort of like irritate it a little bit and then lift it up. First I just put the coconut oil on and then washed it off and thought that was going to do it, but you do actually need to sort of like tease it off, and that works really well. He has terrible hair. It's really bad. I've tried to brush it and wet it and make it look slightly more presentable, but it isn't great hair. But hopefully that will improve over time. I'm blaming his dad's genes for that one. He is quite sturdy, so he can sit for a little while and then he'll sort of lean forward or lean to the side or fall back. We actually had to change the seat in the pram from the bassinet to the sort of like city-uppy, more pushchair style one at about 3.5 months because he just wasn't having any of it. Like, he was not lying down. He would scream bloody murder whenever I laid him down. So he much prefers being able to see. Also, it's at table height, our pram. It's the Jules Day 2. And I've done a full review of that. I'll link it down below. It's at table height, so it makes feeding him so much easier, and I can just keep him in the pram and feed him as we're eating our food as well, which is ace. It does say 6 months on the manufacturer's guidelines, but I literally wouldn't have got another week out of it, never mind another couple of months, so I'm glad that we did that. At 16 weeks, he had his injections, by far the worst set of injections. He got a temperature, he was really grouchy, he was sick, we gave him Calpol, it made no difference. I spent the entire night awake with him on my chest, just desperately trying to keep him cool and make sure he was all right. Rolling wise, at about 3.5 months, no, 4 months, I put him on the bed, and when I came back, he'd done a full roll. So he'd rolled onto his back. No, he'd rolled onto his front and then his back again, and he was like completely off the playmat. He was fine because I'd put him right in the centre of the bed. That was quite scary because he just suddenly did it. And then he's done it a couple more times where he's done a full roll. So he rolls himself over and then rolls himself over again. And then hasn't done it since. So I think he's just thought, I've mastered that. I don't really need to do it again. He's definitely teething. I don't think teeth are coming through, but he will grab my finger and put it in his mouth. And his little gums are so hot. He pulls his ears and he just generally sort of like mashes his gums together. So you can definitely tell that he is teething. He'll grab a muzzy and put it in. What he doesn't want to chew on is anything that I bought specifically for the purpose of teething or chewing. So I bought those little bracelets, I bought the little necklaces that you could chew on, the Nubly stuff. So for the giraffe in 2 different versions, one you can put in the fridge or on the normal original version. He's not interested in any of those. What he does want to chew are muslins, the wet wipes packet, the tag on the side of his pram, my fingers, my hair, and basically anything he shouldn't really chew. Wondering when you should baby-proof the house. I don't know when. Like, when should you put the stair gate up and when should you put, like, the locks and the cupboards and stuff? Obviously when they're on the move, I presume. But even now I'm thinking, oh, I've put him quite near a lamp and he could, like, roll and grab the lamp, and you have to kind of think of those possibilities. So, yeah. Give me advice down below in the comments if you know when I should baby-proof the house. We are still going to MumFit, which he really likes because the baby's there and he can sort of interact with them. He kicks off about 45 minutes in and I have to use him as a dumbbell instead of an actual dumbbell, or a kettlebell instead of an actual kettlebell, but that's fine. And he will laugh his head off when I do that. We go to Water Baby. It's extortionately expensive. It's half an hour per lesson and it's £15 per lesson, but he really likes it, and we've got a really nice group of other mums and babies there, so I'm going to keep going. There's about 17 chapters, we're only on chapter 1, so it's going to cost about £150,000 basically by the time I've finished. The one thing that people have recommended to me is a jumperoo. I think you'd really like a jumperoo, but they take up so much room in your house, and we've only got a little tiny house and it's already looking a little bit like Toys R Us. So I'm considering buying one and leaving it at Nanny's house so we can play with that. So yeah, I think that's it. Overall, a pretty good baby. Still managing to keep him alive, which amazes me every single day. In terms of me and postpartum, I'm pretty much, I think, back to normal. I don't know how much I weigh, but I think I was about £1 off or £2 off what I was before the baby was born. I'm still working out 5 times a week, which I know sounds excessive, but it's really easy to sort of fit into our schedule. So I'll literally just do 30 minutes a day. Usually when it's his morning nap, I'll do 30 minutes of a YouTube exercise video, or we'll go to MumFit. I've started CrossFit because they do a parent and baby class on a Tuesday, and I've met some really nice mums that way as well. It's just around the corner, we just walk there, and the baby's just either playing a mat or stay in their prams, and you just do like an hour-long workout. So that's really good, and that's really helping me sort of feel like I've achieved something in the day, I suppose. Pelvic floor is a bit of an issue, so especially during hay fever season, if you sneeze, it's not great. You have to stop and concentrate. And I think I really need to deal with that because I don't think enough support is there for mums after you've had a baby. And I think it's just presumed that you should have a terrible pelvic floor and deal with mild incontinence. And I don't think you should have to do that. I want to go feed him because he's getting a bit tetchy. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions about a 5-month-old baby, please leave them down below and I will answer them best I can. I only really know about this baby, I don't really know about others. But I can tell you everything you need to know about him. I'll see you very soon. Bye.